Real estate is supposed to be a secure investment, but according to the Real Estate Board, Greater Vancouver is now a buyer's market. Last month, sales of detached homes, townhouses, and apartments were more than 30% lower than the same month last year. September sales were also well below historical averages in the Greater Vancouver market. And although prices aren't falling at the same pace, people trying to sell their homes are learning it takes patience.
Look around and you'll see a lot of for sale signs in Greater Vancouver's suddenly very cold real estate market. It's a buyer's market with far too few buyers and far too many sellers. In fact, sales have dropped so profoundly, they're almost 42% below the 10-year average.
I think a big part of it is consumer confidence. You see a lot of write-ups about what might happen in the marketplace, and there's this 3 to 4 month tug of war that's happened between buyers and sellers. Sellers don't need to sell, so they're not letting go on prices. We see only a few percentage changes. And buyers have a lot of choice and a lot of time. So there's no urgency. And so we're seeing this sort of depression of the activity, but there's absolutely no change in the prices, and the prices have been quite resilient.
Home sales last month fell a big 32% from the same month a year ago. They're even down 8% from August, and August had already gone into the record books as the second lowest sales month in 14 years. Part of the downturn is driven by Ottawa's changes to mortgage rules that came into effect on July 9th.
Well, if you're changing the amortization timeframes from 30 years to 25 years, those people that don't have that larger down payment are now taken out of the market, having to save longer, get help from other places, funds, parents, whatever is happening. And so when you start taking out the first-time home buyer or the entry-level first-time home buyer, that prevents the next person from moving up and so on and so on.
Yes, while sales have been dropping, the same can't be said about prices, at least not to the same extent. Benchmark prices for a detached home throughout the Lower Mainland actually climbed, but only by half a percentage point. Townhouse prices dropped 2.7%, and apartments were down 0.7%. And if you look at the 5-year trend, you can see real estate prices in Metro Vancouver peaked in May this year and are now headed lower.
When you look at our history, we can go back to 1960 when we were 13,000, now we're at 1 million. But we didn't get there in a straight line. We had some dips and valleys, and I think we're in for a bit of a dip. We can only, increase at 10% in value every year for so long, and then we have to take a breather.
To put it simply, only 6 months ago, for every 100 properties on the market, 19 would sell in a reasonable time frame. Last month, that number dropped to just 8.